Madam Speaker, the world changed on February 24th. Russia attacked Ukraine, beginning the first war between states in Europe since 1945. In doing so, autocratic states like Russia have made it clear that they are prepared to attack democracies abroad and here at home. Other governments have realized the world has changed. That's why on February 27th, Germany did a U-turn on decades of foreign and military policy. Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who heads a center-left coalition, announced that Germany would begin immediately increasing defense spending to meet and exceed the 2% NATO commitment, beginning with an immediate infusion of $140 billion Canadian in new military spending. The German government understands that the world has changed, Madam Speaker. This Liberal government does not. NATO members have had a long-standing commitment to spend 2% of gross domestic product on the military. As I've just mentioned, Germany will be meeting that commitment. Canada's closest allies already exceed that commitment, including the United States, the United Kingdom, and France. Canada does not, and the budget contains no measures for us to meet that NATO commitment. In fact, on the latest NATO data, Canada ranks 25th out of 29 member states of NATO in terms of our contribution to our defense and security. That wasn't always the case, Madam Speaker. Canada was once a leading contributor to the alliance. More than 1.1 million Canadians served in the Second World War, and over 40,000 paid the ultimate sacrifice and gave their lives in defense of this country. And for decades, throughout the 1980s and well into the early 1990s, Canada exceeded the 2% commitment. Canada spent more than 2% of its gross domestic product on defense. And here's why that lack of defense spending should concern us all. There is no greater guarantee of peace and security in this world than military strength. In fact, before 1945 in North America, both Canada and the United States had no standing militaries of any scale to deter aggression. And in the century before 1945, our histories were replete with bloody and costly wars that led to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of our citizens in defense of democracy, freedom, and the rule of law. And that is why, since 1945, we have pledged to never again go through that horrific period in history. And as we agreed to establish standing militaries of sufficient size to deter the aggression that we are seeing around the world and potentially the aggression we might see in the Indo-Pacific region. Madam Speaker, the greatest guarantor of peace and security is a strong and robust military. And because the government isn't allocating enough spending to Canada's military, it is leaving Canada exposed and vulnerable in a violent and unstable world.